Hi, it's Empress Rose, and welcome to our collective reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. We're starting off with the Work Your Light Oracle deck. All right off the top there. Well, not off the top, but you know. Oh, if you have a yes or no question, please formulate it now. But we're going to start with Imrama. Oh my gosh, this is the same one we got last week. Where are you being called to journey to? Some sort of trip, some sort of journey, a pilgrimage, perhaps to your hometown. This can also be a vision quest. Maybe you didn't get a chance quite to do it since last week. But that's really funny. That's amazing. So some sort of sacred place, some sort of pilgrimage. Where are you being called to journey to? So again, talking about a trip, talking about a journey. That was interesting too, because in the shuffling, the chariot, which often talks about trips and journeys, came up as well. So Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Still apparently a question. Either you're already going there and this is just referencing a trip that you're already going on, or this is one that you will be going on. Keepers of the earth, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Maybe you're going to visit some family and some grandparents, but also there's some history here. There's some subtle help. There's some intuitive help speaking to you through your intuition. Some sort of clarity. There's also like animal spirits and very powerful animal spirits represented here. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. You are not alone. So maybe you're not going on this journey alone either. Maybe there is someone accompanying you. But if you are going on the journey alone, it just seems, it's just very clear that there is some sort of ancestral help here, or you are being guided on this journey, and you're being guided on this journey, or prompted on this journey. This isn't just some random little trip you're taking. There's a lot of importance to this trip. Whatever it is, and maybe it's just a trip to get in touch with your roots, or get in touch with your ancestors, your history. There's some familiarity here. And although it may be apparent on the surface that you're going on this trip alone, you're not. And this is interesting. This is wait, postpone, pause, and say no. So there may be a trip that is going on pause, or it's not time right now to do this. There might be some disruptions to travel. You may need to wait on something, pause something. It's not saying don't go. It honestly looks like there's a storm standing between you and your goal. There is something, and the storm passes, right? We don't have the storm forever, but the storm passes and we can move forward. So this could be saying, for some of you, if there is a disruption to your trip, know that is actually you're being protected somehow about that. You may be a group of people that you're going with, but if there is a pause on this trip, this could just be the yes or no question that you're asking. But if there's a pause on the trip, if there's a pause on some sort of journey, it just means that that's not time yet. And perhaps there are things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. There may also be, if there is a pause, there may be, I think, help that is coming, that is that you're not aware of right now. There may be help from relatives, or help from your ancestors on this trip, but it just, the no may be separate, but it feels like it's part of a piece of, like, there's some kind of pause going on here. There are external circumstances may not be right for this right now. But you either aren't going to be the only one that can't go on this trip, or you're not, or is receiving a pause on some sort of journey that you're on. You may not be the only one that's getting a pause notice. This has been on pause. Yeah. But you do have support in this. So it may be difficult to experience a pause, especially if it's something that you feel really called to do. So there may be a pause on some sort of, yeah. Oh, this one. All right. So from the, I always forget the name of this, Dreamweaver's Oracle deck. This is really interesting too. Speaking of pause, if cat curls around the moon, we have just taking a nap, we have relaxing, we have a very independent spirit here. Which is interesting because we have you are not alone, and then we have this like really independent spirit going on here. But yeah, doing what you want to do. There's very Aquarian vibes right here. We will be moving into Aquarius season shortly. Well, just with the star and the star card and sort of the independence of the cat and the reputation for independence that the Aquarian energy has. But yeah, doing what you want to do, being independent, really listening to your own inner guidance about something. Again, we have some sort of pause though. And literally we have pause. So we have some sort of pause, some sort of rest, some sort of break. Feel free to say no to the group. If there's a group dynamic going on, feel free to move independent of that group. If you do go on a trip with a group, you can take a break from the group and go do your own thing, apparently. Then when it's time to say goodbye, which is really interesting, especially since we're talking about some sort of journey here, there is some clinginess, clinging to some sort of past, clinging to the present, clinging to what is, and not allowing flow here. This can also be like when it is time for you to say goodbye to a certain situation, there may be something specific that happens there that you need to be aware of, you need to pay attention to, intentionally leaving a space or a person. You just need to be very present is what I'm seeing here. Being very present with that. Don't gloss over that goodbye. Don't, it's an important one. So don't just move over it. So it's some sort of departure. I don't know why there's so much. Well, I mean, this Rama, where are you being called to journey to, is very clearly, maybe it is like, where do you want to go? Or is there a place you want to move to? Is there a place you want to vacation to? Is there a place you just want to go for the weekend? Is there a place that you need to go to that's very important to you? You won't be alone there. And maybe you meet up with someone, but there is this intentionality either on the leaving for the trip or leaving the trip to come back, that needs to happen. No clinging. I mean, not no clinging. There's just some sort of fear, I think, about leaving something, perhaps. A fear about moving forward towards something. Not quite feeling fully ready to move forward, even though you're being called to move forward, but not quite feeling ready to do that. It's really interesting with these two because we have the independent and you're not alone, and sort of that sort of constant inner push and pull that we all experience to be part of the group, to move independently, to be part of the group, to move independently. And then there's no here. It seems to be when it's time to say goodbye, pause. I don't know why those feel so connected. And maybe you're stopping something you have been doing. Maybe it's time to say goodbye to a habit. But there is some sort of departure here and some sort of anxiety about a departure. All right, moving on to the tarot, and I'm using the, apparition spirit speak. A tarot deck, which I rarely use, but it was just very clear to me today that that's what was going on. So from the bottom, Page of Pentacles, some sort of new job. This Page of Pentacles can also be a child. It can be, maybe you're the child, maybe there is a child involved here. It's a real child, it's a real thing. But it can also be like any kind of newbie, any kind of new employee. Maybe that's you, maybe that's somebody else. A new roommate, it's just in the real world, something is new. Someone is new in particular. So Page of Pentacles. We've got the Fool card also represented here. Clownishness, silliness. But it's about physicality too. So it could be a new movement, a new way to move. But it's very physical. It's very real world. It's not just, I have a new idea, I have a new feeling, I have a new friend. It's just, it could be have to do with money, it could have to do with health. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Yeah, speaking of no and this journey, we have the Chariot reverse. Right. In the recent past, we have King of Cups. We have the Trident. We have Neptune, or Poseidon, whatever you want, represented here. Powerful. I want to say God of the Sea. Powerful. Yeah, it's really interesting. God of the Sea. Someone who's really mastered emotions, is very emotionally mature. A sort of a ruler. And this could be a boss. This can always, the King of Cups always reminds me of a therapist or someone who just really knows their way around emotions, the psyche, how we deal with them, all of that. So there's a powerful person in your past. It could be you. It could be you having like really maturely dealt with something. And I think like we're all kind of, you know, we are all the pages, the knights, the queens, and the cups, like those different energies. And so the king is this mastery of emotions, approaching a situation with emotional maturity. Perhaps this was a new employee or a new job or a new situation, or just an old situation. This may have been someone you know that you've worked with before. This may be, but there's just a lot of emotional maturity here, and sort of a lot of personal growth is represented in the King of Cups. This person has experienced quite a bit of personal growth, and it should not be discounted, right? This couldn't also be some sort of boss, but this is like really one of the best bosses, like as far as just emotional maturity and growth. This person is on a strong path of growth with emotional maturity, basically. So, and then we have 10 of Cups. So this could have been you also really committed to your own emotional growth and development, and having dealt with a situation very evenly. That doesn't mean that even isn't necessarily synonymous with emotional maturity, because we all have these really strong emotions that come through, and it's just really what we do with them. So someone really handled some very strong emotions very divinely, very well. So 10 of Cups is where we're at, and I think this might have been you. A lot of satisfaction with where you are, with how you're dealing with things. So we're still all going to have difficulties. We're going to have old wounds that get triggered and all of that. It's just really how we handle them. And I feel like you're very proud of how you handled the situation, how you handled some emotional upset, some rising emotions. 10 of Cups. Well, 10 of Cups. It's not, I'm thinking 9 of Cups, which is interesting. 10 of Cups is almost, it's like having gone through a difficult thing with other people. And we had 10 of Cups last week too, at the very beginning in the recent past. So 10 of Cups in your current situation, having emotional satisfaction with people. It's almost like a 2 of Cups, but it's much more mature and much more, because difficulties have been endured, have been gone through, as we saw with this King of Cups. And so here we see this sort of earth energy, these mountains kissing. And so there's like a deep connection here, a very grounded connection after the difficulty. And we're very happy. So that where the 9 of Cups is, you're happy with who you are. The 10 of Cups is, we are happy together. We're happy with how we have handled the situation. So there's a lot of satisfaction. There's we're a joint satisfaction. It could be a satisfaction with the group. We're very happy with where we're at right now, and it's a moment, and we pass through it, and we experience it, and we definitely want to experience it clearly. And there may be, even as we move out of a moment of peace and harmony with someone, there may be a sense of not really wanting to move on from this space, not wanting to, move from a co-happiness. But yeah, we've gone through something, emotional maturity. And what's interesting too is there are these 2 tridents in this 10 of Cups. So to me, that indicates that there's someone else involved, that this could, and with this 10 of Cups next to it, it does seem like there's, I want to say 2 gods, or 2 kings involved, or 2 deities, or highly capable, emotionally mature people that maybe crossed swords, maybe had some conflict, but they both dealt with it very maturely. And then we have this 10 of Cups, where there's now some peace between the peace within the situation, when 2 mature people deal with some rising emotions. So again, there's just this completion. Then we have your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, 3 of Wands. Your hope is to have hope, right? And I love this light sparking another light, and then lighting the way, seeing the path forward, but also being inspired by other people and inspiring others. And just, what's that phrase? This is very clearly here, obviously. The phrase of, you lose no light. The candle does not lose any light by lighting another candle. So sparking inspiration in other people. Maybe you would like to be an inspiration for others. Typically 3 of Wands, though, is like having a lot of faith in some sort of path. So perhaps like you're wanting to have more faith, what's that phrase, the biblical phrase from, it's not my faith, it's my lack of faith. So there's a sense of a mustard seed of that kind of faith, of growing, something developing, having faith that there is more growth, there is more development, and wanting to believe, wanting to trust the future, wanting to have faith in a vision. So if you don't, where it is that you have a certain amount of faith, but I think you would like more faith. You would like to trust this vision even more than you do. But there's a mustard seed of faith there. Just there's a sense of wanting it to grow and wanting it to continue, wanting it to grow brighter, and maybe wanting your light to shine brighter, and wanting to inspire others while also being inspired, and just wanting the clarity of the situation to grow as well, and seeing that it can. And so where you lack faith, you would like more faith. There is a certain amount here, but you would like to have more faith and see even more clearly this future unfolding for you. But what's at issue? So you'd like to believe, maybe issues come up and you're struggling to have faith that they can be resolved, or that this is the right thing to do, or that this is happening appropriately. It can be very hard to sort of let go of our expectations of what the world should be, and how our path should be, and how someone else's path should be, and what people should be doing, and letting go of that, and just and trusting the universe to unfold in a good way, because sometimes the universe doesn't seem to be unfolding in a very good way. So it can be very hard to understand and to have faith in a situation, especially if there's like a pause on something you've planned or something like that. It can be very difficult to have faith that that was meant to be, that this was meant to happen this way. And that's not something we can really tell other people, that what's going on in their life is meant to be. It's something that, it's a piece that we find within ourselves, if at all possible. And sometimes it's not possible depending on what it is. But so this could be, a situation in which maybe not every situation we can find faith that this is what's meant to be and everything's unfolding as it needs to. But because there are situations in which it's just really hard to, it's just impossible to accept that. But there are where we can accept situations and where we can be more having faith in the unfolding of a situation, that it's unfolding well and in alignment with the universe and with the greater intelligence of which we are all a part, where we can find that faith we want to. And it looks like you want more faith. But I think we're struggling because we have this Chariot reversed. That something's just not moving forward, not progressing, not coordinating. Something is very uncoordinated. It could be an event. It could be something chaotic happening that's very uncoordinated. And the Chariot is about like people learning to move together, and maybe not forever, but for a time period. So people moving forward together, some cohesion happening, some negotiations happening. And the charioteer has to get these horses moving all in the same direction. These horses are not moving in the same direction. So there's some sort of discord that's coming in. It's a very unwelcome discord. I mean, it typically is, but it's like wanting to move something forward, but it's not moving forward. The parts just aren't lining up. It's just not coming together the way you expected and wanted. Something's just really not moving forward. So it could be a new job. It could be a new trip. I mean, it just has this to it as well, of just like this thing not moving forward. Something, no pause, say no. These horses aren't getting like harnessed together. There's no bringing this together. There's no bringing these. The chariot is broken. This could be like the breakdown of something that has a lot of moving parts that needs to move forward. So whether that's a project at work, an actual car, something that wants to move forward, having sort of a I'm seeing like springs and tires flying, and it's just not working. Something may not be coordinated or working out, which is really interesting, because where we're at is like we're really happy with some sort of work we've done with other people, but there's also this sense of discord and something not moving forward, not going anywhere. And this could also be the pause. The chariot could be a pause. The chariot reverse can be a pause in something that has a lot of momentum, has a lot of movement, and has a lot of, I'm going to say, like potential energy to it. But that energy is being dissipated. And also we have like the same like lightning, right? So this is just basically feeling like a no pause card. Like in your environment, you have King of Wands. So we do have two kings here, which is interesting. We also have two tens here, completion, fulfillment. Both of these are incredibly good tens. These are the best tens. I mean, all the tens are really good. Like, 10 of Swords, we're not in pain anymore. The painful situation is over. 10 of Wands, the worrisome situation is over. 10 of Cups, we've completed a beautiful emotional cycle with somebody. We've really come through some things, and we've come through well, and we're happy with where we're at. And then we have this 10 of Pentacles. So that's really interesting. Two kings here. So in your environment, there's a person, a boss. This could be a teacher, spirituality, creativity. Those sorts of things are where we find our King of Wands. This creativity, which is interesting because it's reminding me actually of this specifically Page of Pentacles. So we have students and teachers here. Maybe we have like an emotional teacher and a spiritual teacher, but this King of Wands could be a teacher, it could be a boss. This person is a developer, develops things. They are in tune with their solar plexus chakra and their throat chakra. They're able to communicate. They communicate very well and convincingly. They're also very inspired. So this reminds me of generator energy in human design, of just someone that gets excited about things and then other people get excited about things. Like they have that sort of energy leadership. So this can be a very energetic leader, a very charismatic person. This can also be a creative leader, a leader of a creative project, that sort of thing. So that person is in your environment. There's a person in your environment in authority who is in an energy, a creative energy. There can also be a little bit of cult leader sometimes with this, but I'm really, it's just discernment on who you follow, because people can be very convincing and very emphatic with their speech. And that can give people a sense that they know what they're talking about, because we all have a little bit of insecurity that we don't know what's going on here on earth. We don't know what we're talking about. So when someone comes around and they very much know exactly what they're talking about and they're going to tell you, it can be very tempting to believe them, because that would be really nice if somebody here knew what they were talking about. So you may have this sensation that this person really knows what they're talking about. But that's just what it is a sensation. They may actually know what they're talking about too. So it's discernment, especially with the King of Wands. Does this person are they just taking advantage of everyone's sense of being lost here, not quite knowing what's going on? And so then they'll tell you what's going on. If you yourself haven't gotten in touch with yourself, then the King of Wands will tell you for you what's going on. And sometimes that's to their benefit. To tell you what's going on is that they know what's going on and you should follow them. And sometimes that's just like, oh, actually in this situation, I do know what's going on and I am the head of the situation and I have worked in this business for a long time and I do actually know how to motivate people and how to be exciting. So it does take discernment. The King of Wands needs discernment. So there's someone in your environment that could sound like they know what they're talking about. Do they or don't they? The King of Wands can come across as a know-it-all. I'm really a big fan of a know-it-some. You can have areas of expertise, but literally nobody. It can possibly be a know-it-all. And the more of a sense that they give you of that they're a know-it-all, the less you should believe anything they say, because they're just really good at talking about it. Like they know. And right now I am looking at one of the most gorgeous sunsets I have ever seen. It is just endless and beautiful. It's just one of those orange and purple ones with a little blue and green at the edges. And just the whole horizon is like this. It's very beautiful. And then there are a bunch of trees in front of it, but they're just in silhouette. So anyway, that was really exciting. That continues to be very exciting, but I can't really turn my phone around. So then we have this Nine of Wands in your current situation. Oh my gosh, I think we have seen this card very recently, not from this deck, but very recently we have seen this card, this Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, continuing to go on. I like how this is just like prayers. Just they've lit a bunch of candles and all they've got left is hopes and prayers. And like it's very similar to all of these candles in this Three of Wands. There's a lot of wands here. So this could be about a creative project, especially with the Chariot card. So a creative project, maybe really not getting off the ground or not being able to coordinate and get all these wheels moving in the same direction. Yeah, like a grocery cart with one wheel that's kind of like not able to get in the same direction as all the other wheels. So that's sort of the sensation. And it just, there's a sense of exhaustion. There's a sense of just hopes and prayers for this to some sort of breakthrough, some sort of, yeah, I just see hopes and prayers. That's all you've got left. But you're still here, you're still moving, you're still going, but you're definitely looking at what you've been through, the past and all that you've experienced in the past. and sort of limping forward. So keep limping forward, like just doing the best you can. It's so interesting because we have this like satisfaction above you in your current situation. But maybe you think something's completed, you think you've arrived, but there's actually just more. And now there's more. Like you thought you arrived, but there's more. And you know, just with the wanting to have more faith in a situation, and this is like, oh, what is it? Fake it till you make it. Now I've heard people be like, don't be fake. Don't be fake. That's not what that means. I don't know how people like, well, I do know how, because I have misunderstood quite a few colloquialisms myself through the years. But fake it till you make it is about, you know, what we talked about a couple weeks ago, that hero posture, helping yourself feel strong even when you don't feel strong, or helping yourself feel happy even when you don't feel happy. But I mean, we don't need to be fake happy, but sometimes we can help ourselves a little bit with helping with our own posture and helping with our own decisions and choices of how we want to move. So this is saying, like, keep moving in this direction, keep trying to have faith in something. And the fake it, okay, so back to the fake it till you make it. It's not about being fake. It's not about being a fake person. It's about believing despite evidence to the contrary. It's about continuing to have faith in a process despite evidence to despite the past having not worked out, or despite it not having worked out yet. It's about like believing that you can be successful even if you haven't yet been successful. So keep kind of limping this chariot along, okay? So yeah, the grocery cart might have a funky little wheel on it that needs to be fixed or something, but keep limping along, keep going forward is basically this card. And then going back again to fake it till you make it. It's from like the addiction community and addiction services and that sort of thing, of just like, we're going to be stronger than we feel. And that's this card, is this Nine of Wands. Be stronger than you feel. You may feel like quitting. You may feel like giving up. You may feel like this is never going to work. You may feel like we're not getting anywhere here. We're not going anywhere. You may feel like, you know, if you go to the airport and your flight's postponed, you may feel like just begging the whole trip and heading home. This is saying, don't beg the trip and head home. Wait for things to unfold. Wait for the next flight, or wait for news, or don't just give up and go home, even though it doesn't look very promising. So that's what I'm seeing, is something that doesn't look very promising. Even though there is this promising thing here, but it's sort of like you're not really present with, maybe this is something you don't know about, this 10 of Cups, this like success. Maybe you have been successful in something, and something did come to completion and was successful, but you're not sure you can repeat that. You're not sure that that's ever going to happen again. Perhaps that is the pinnacle. Perhaps that is, you know, as good as this gets. But this is saying, like, keep pushing that grocery cart, even with the wonky wheel. Maybe you guys, the sunset just keeps getting better, and you can't really see it. I can't even turn the camera around because it's right over there. And so now it's like really deep purples and hot pinks, and it's really beautiful. It's like 5 degrees here, but it's a very beautiful sunset. So anyway, keep limping along, keep going, even though there may be disruptions, even though the advice would be to quit from some people that don't know what they're talking about. But keep going. Do not quit. Continue to have faith, even though it might be a beleaguered faith. And in a way, you can look to other people for inspiration as well. Yeah, look to others for some inspiration. Maybe there's something that you're new at that is just really discouraging. You know, I just started a dance class, and it's really hard for me. This dance class requires a lot of muscle strength and muscles I'm not very strong at. And it's incredibly fun, but there's also like a lot of difficulty. And I'm not the most coordinated person. I've never been a very good dancer, but I really want to, you know, I don't know, be in a body and enjoy that and as much as possible. So it could be like something like that, where it's like, this is not easy at all, and it would be easier to quit, but there's a sense of don't quit, keep going. You're going to build those muscles, you're going to build those skills. It may be embarrassing, you may be horrible, you may move like an anatromic giraffe that's on the fritz, but you keep going even though it's hard and you're sore. Keep going. And then possible outcome is the best possible outcome. It's Ten of Pentacles. You have, it's the best possible outcome. So keep going, even though it doesn't feel good at times. I mean, normally we do want to feel good, but this is something where you need to continue to have faith in yourself, continue to have faith in the future, continue to have faith in the universe to bring things together for you, because this Ten of Pentacles is really worth it. It really is worth sticking with something to get to this Ten of Pentacles. So without the Ten of Pentacles here, in the future as a possible outcome, it would be very tempting to quit. But I think this Ten of Pentacles is very clearly here for you to show you that physical success is possible, real world success is possible in this field. Happiness, satisfaction, it's the Ten of Cups, but it's even more, because there's some sort of actual physical success. If you are trying to be healthier, keep going even though it's difficult and you're having temptations to go back to old habits. This is saying that the success is going to be cooler than you think, and that you actually can succeed and you actually can meet your goals, whether they be health goals, financial goals, career goals, whatever. Maybe not the specific goal, but there is like some really good success anyway. This is reminding me of like, even if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land among the stars. I really hate that phrase so much, because we're already among the stars, and in fact we're as close to a star as we could ever want to be, and we really don't need to be closer to the stars. And the moon is actually closer. There are no stars between us and the moon, so like that doesn't make sense at all. But the concept is really good. Like, shoot big, even if you don't get to your final goal, to the ultimate goal, getting partway there is going to be actually really cool too. So the Ten of Pentacles, I guess I don't want to overpromise the Ten of Pentacles, but the Ten of Pentacles is quite a thing to have in our possible outcome. So something where you're maybe just started, it's very physical, it's a new situation. Keep going, even though it's a little discouraging, because the result's actually going to be really cool. So, oh wow, how do I get so long on these? Okay, Sandpiper Spirit, be playful, or try to be, with all this discouragement here and like, I'm tired, I want to quit. Try to be playful in this situation. That's why you're getting this card, is because you're supposed to be a little bit playful. Not supposed to, but it's like, it's gonna help if you're more playful with it than not. So it will be helpful to be playful. I like how it's wearing a paper hat. Little sandpiper. Sandpiper is wearing a paper hat. This could be going to the beach as well. I don't know. I'm not going to the beach in 10 degrees, but maybe I am. I could go to the beach in 10 degrees. But being playful. All right, we have this puppy right here. All right, Harvest Mother watches over me. Oh, interesting. The inner world offers powerful healing energy, creating space to receive it with love, patience, acceptance, and willingness to hear, feel, and honor all messages from our inner world with wisdom. Allows this inner medicine to work its healing magic. Even if it seems unfathomable at an intellectual level, the inner world knows how to restore and heal every aspect of the soul. We just need to invite and allow it. I like how we add just into these things that are actually quite difficult and complex. I mean, once you turn the key and you get the door to allowing something in and allowing something to change you and that it is sort of simple once you open the door, but sometimes it can be very hard to find the key, find the door, find the keyhole, get this all coordinated and get it all in, right? Get it all coordinated and get it all moving. It can be quite difficult, and this is like that lack of coordination, things not getting coordinated. Maybe you're not coordinated. I'm not coordinated, so that could be the Chariot card too. But one thing I really like about this, the inner world knows how to restore and heal every aspect of the soul, even if it seems unfathomable at an intellectual level. And that's where our internal need for more faith and a request of the universe for more faith, that something can turn out well, right? And this like losing faith here, this is saying like to continue. It may be unfathomable, but there's some sort of intuitive process that you're going through that's actually like really bringing you to a really cool spot, a very cool place, actually. So, yeah, so even if it seems unfathomable, keep going. If you're on a healing journey, keep going. So the King of Cups and the King of Wands together, and this is gender neutral, but it's master energy. And the Cups can be very receptive and the Wands are very, what do we want to call that? The Wands are very masculine energy and the Cups are very feminine energy. And there are masters of both of them right here. So that's interesting, especially with the 10 of Cups. So anyway, you're protected. If you're in a space with a timeout where success seems unfathomable, just know that it's a protected space. And that's where the mother watches over me. Oh, this reminds me of this protected space in a difficult time. And an overall really good process, but it's a difficult time. And so, yeah, you have some sort of supportive presence here. So that's where you can draw some faith. And this sits right over this. So the desire to have more faith, and then this should hopefully help a lot with that success and on multiple levels coming in. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me here, and we'll see you guys later.